Hey, what is up, you guys? It is Jin Yuki coming at you with another deck profile here today. And today, as you can see, it is my Aqua standard deck profile. Recently, and by recently I mean maybe a few months ago, Aqua got some new support. They got this bad boy right here, Blue Storm Supreme Dragon Glory Maelstrom, and it kind of turned the deck into a pretty top tier. Aqua used to be just kind of this joke because they didn't really have this way of like, I mean, they had a restander with Maelstrom, and I mean that was pretty cool, but it was an on hit that you had to get with your third or fourth battle, when the battle had to hit and you had to discard two to restand Maelstrom. So that was fine, but like it just the deck had no like serious strength, you know. So Glory Maelstrom definitely gave it that strength, and I'll explain why in the deck profile. But if you guys haven't checked it out, I've uploaded so far. I think I've uploaded my Grand Blue deck profile and my Dragonic Overlord the Great deck profile. Definitely go check those out. They're super cool, and I like those decks so much, and this deck is no exception. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So first of all, the big question here is, do you use XL1 or XL2? I think it's pretty explanatory that you probably should use XL2 like any other XL deck. XL1, if you really want to use it, it's there. Plus, I'm still trying to find some foil XL2 markers, but those will probably be pretty costly. So I just use XL1 as XL2 because they're shiny, but I don't know. These are here in case I need them, but definitely XL2 is the way to go. You can definitely afford to lose the 5,000 power from the XL. One, you get a draw, and two, Maelstrom powers up your rear guards enough, so I feel like that 5,000 power really doesn't really matter. So, but let's just get right into the deck profile. The starter, Officer Cadet Eric. This guy, basically, I mean, he's a starter, you ride him, you draw. You could run the other one, the Draco Kid one that I had never heard of. Cadet Eric is just kind of like this fan favorite that I like to use. And yeah, so I just use Eric. Moving on to the grade 3 lineup, I use 4 copies of Blue Storm Supreme Dragon Glory Maelstrom. Glory Maelstrom is freaking amazing. The reason why is because he has the ability that you can counterblast 1 on Vanguard Circle. Your opponent can't intercept for the rest of the turn, so if they're an Excel heavy deck, that's going to be rough for them. Also, during the battles that all of your units attack, they can only guard with up to 1 card. So it's kind of like reverse Battle Door, where they have to guard with at least 2. This guy makes it so that they can only guard with 1 per battle. So if you have like a 33k Vanguard, or a 33k rear guard or something like that, attacking, or something crazy, some big number, they either have to use a heal trigger really, or a PG, or they have to take the damage. So only 1 card to guard. They can't be like heal trigger and a 5k or something like that. Just 1 card for every single battle that you attack this turn. And that is awesome. And then if you have a card with Maelstrom in your soul, your entire front row gains 10,000 power, which is fucking amazing. It's a front trigger, essentially. He is his own front trigger. For 1 counterblast, that is it. 1 fucking counterblast. That's all you got to do, and you got to have a Maelstrom in your soul. So this guy, basically, you could re-ride himself. You can ride over the old Maelstrom, which is what you tend to do. Speaking of the old Maelstrom, I run 4 copies of Blue Storm Dragon Maelstrom. He's got the skill on Vanguard. You can counterblast 1, and your front row gains 3k. I'm sure you can realize now why before this deck was pretty crap. And then he's got the skill that when your rear guard's attack hits, if it is the 3rd or 4th battle, you can discard 2 and Maelstrom stands back up, which is fun, but like, I mean, if you took away this guy and just had Maelstrom on its own, like how Aqua used to be, it wasn't all that powerful, like you just had this guy, you basically had to hope that they didn't have a bunch of guards or a bunch of PGs in their hand, and you had to basically hope on Riptide, hope on Dump. Basically, you just had to just Riptide them to death until they eventually took a damage, and it had to be the 3rd or 4th battle. If it was the 5th, does not count. So yeah, basically like it just 3rd or 4th battle of the turn. So if it was like maybe 3rd or more, I could maybe see that being okay for its time, but you know, ever since this guy came around, then the deck has just been so much better. And I like the deck a lot more, and it's a lot more consistent. Also, he's a Maelstrom name, so this guy can proc off his effect with having Maelstrom in your soul. The last grade 3s I run are 2 Riptide Dragon. Riptide Dragon still, he has the ability, he's really good. He has the ability that he can't attack until the 4th battle, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 4th battle. And when he attacks, he gains 20k. So he's 32 on his own, not counting for any, you know, front triggers or Maelstrom's effect. If you use Maelstrom's effect, this guy's 42 on his own. That means your opponent has to perfect guard if they don't have any defensive triggers on them. They have to perfect guard or they have to take the damage. So this guy's pretty deadly combined with Maelstrom. Something else, if you don't want to, you know, if you something other, well, I don't remember his name, but like he's a grade 3 that says basically you could tech him in, which I haven't seen any builds with it, but I think it'd be super freaking hilarious if you did. I forget, I think like Bleb Bomb or Dragon or something like that. Basically he says that when your opponent gets a defensive trigger, you minus 10,000 power from your opponent's Vanguard. So he can basically just say no to defensive triggers. I don't know how basically it works, but I remember reading that. So if you want to tech that in, go ahead. I don't know how it works really, but that's it for my grade 3s. There's 10 of them. Moving on to the grade 2 lineup, I run 4 Coral Assault. Coral Assault basically has a skill that during the battle that it attacked, if 4 or more of your rear guards are rested, he gains 15k. So he's kind of like Stormride Ghost Ship for Grand Blue, because he's essentially the clone for that. I would say Stormride basically has the effect that he gains 15 when he attacks, and at the end of the battle he kills himself and you draw, which is beneficial for Grand Blue. But he's got the skill that at the end of the turn, basically if you've had, I think it was 4 or more attacks, yeah, which is super easy to achieve in this deck, like pretty much the easiest, even maybe on grade 2 ride. You put him into your soul and you draw a card. So if you got multiple copies of this guy, you can just shove him into your soul and keep drawing, which is actually really good because sometimes you might be low on soul because of tidal assaults. And, you know, this guy also combined with Glory Maelstrom is just freaking insane because that is 34,000. And again, 34, basically pretty much anything, if they haven't, let's say they're at 5 damage, this guy at 34 is deadly because they have to PG or they take the damage. So, yeah, I mean, again, this deck hits for high numbers, and your opponent either has to PG or they have a defensive trigger that back them up, or they have to take the damage. So that is it for Coral Assault. He's your draw power and he's your main muscle for the grade 2 lineup. Then I also run still 4 Tidal Assault. If you don't know what he does, he's pretty much a staple for Aqua Force, standard at least. When he attacks, you can Soul Blast 1 and you stand him, and then if it's the second battle, the turn or more, he gets minus 5,000. Which, combined with Glory Maelstrom, you could have a couple different copies of this guy, and it still wouldn't really matter because it'll, you know, he'll still hit for pretty big numbers. So it's not that bad a card. I've seen people actually cut him down for, you know, other cards, but like honestly, he's still pretty good in himself. So. The last grade 2 that I run is 4 copies of Marine General of the Restless Tides Algos. He's got the skill on Vanguard that when he attacks, I think it's the second battle? Yeah, when it attacks, if it's the second battle of that turn or more, you Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1, you stand one of your rear guards. So that skill's on Vanguard, so he's a great ride target. He's also got the skill on Rear Guard that when he attacks, if it is the first battle of that turn or more, you can Counterblast 1 and stand Algos. So, great first attacker. Basically him or Tidal Assault are great first attackers because they just get that first and second battle out of the way, or at least that first battle, and that allows you to hit for the higher battle numbers, and that's just, you know, it's super easy in this deck, like I said, to get 4 battles, which will actually just help this guy proc his effect. So that is it for grade 2s. I am running 12 of them. I'm not used to saying that, I'm used to saying 11. But moving on to the grade 1s, I run 4 Wheel Assault. Wheel Assault is the best grade 1 in this deck, because he's got the skill that Rear Guard at the end. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Yeah, at the end of the battle that he boosted, you can exchange the position of 2 units. So if you got a guy in the back row that you want to attack, you can switch him to an Excel circle if you want. It's really, really cool. and he's got an auto skill when rode upon. You can counterblast 1, draw, and call a card from your hand. So that basically is an effect. So it's not, so let's say you ride to a grade 2, if you can use this effect to call a grade 3 from your hand, which is awesome, because you can call a Riptide Dragon. Let's say you rode Algos, call something, you know, to the other side, attack with that, attack with Algos, restand, attack with that again, and then you can finally attack with Riptide, which is really, really cool. Just allows cool combos, and you get to draw a card, basically. Really, really cool effect. Next grade 1 I run is for Storm Rider Nikolos. Nikolos has the ability that on van or rear, when placed, you search the top 7 for Marine General of the Restless Tides Algos, the grade 2, and you can put it into your hand, and you shuffle your deck, and Algos. Nikolos gains 3,000 power, so he becomes an 11k attacker, which is really cool on grade 1 because you can ride Wheel Assault, call this guy, and so this guy is an 11k attacker, which is awesome. I mean, other than that, there's really nothing else to say about him. He's just a really cool searcher, and yeah, that's really about that for that. Then I run 3 Dine. Dine has the ability that at the end of the battle that I think it's attack or boosted, yeah. If at the end of the battle that she attacked or boosted, if it is the 4th battle of that turn or more, you can return her to your hand, regardless of whether it hit or not. So it's Almighty Reporter on crack, if you guys are that old. Almighty Reporter was like a card from Nova Grappler that on hit, I think you could return it to your hand or something like that. And I don't know. Basically, you know, I like to think of Almighty Reporter because I've been playing this game for that long. But that is it for the grade 1s. I run 11 of them. And the trigger lineup. Finally, I am able to say that I can run 8 front triggers and it not be bad. So I run 4 Dolphin, 2 Penguin, 2 Draco Kid. I mean, it doesn't really matter the ratios, but 8 front trigger. It is freaking hilarious when you rip one of these on your Glory Maelstrom turn, because you can basically just make it even harder for your opponent to guard. Combined with Riptide Dragon, combined with Coral Assault, combined with Tidal Assault. It is just amazing because you can hit those high numbers, and your opponent, again, with Glory Maelstrom's effect, can only guard with 1 card per battle. So, and if you have a full fleet of front row rear guards, I doubt that they have that many PGs in their hand unless they're running a crazy, you know, protect deck. So, you know, every single deck has 4 PGs and they could generate more if they're protect, but I doubt that they can fit, you know, I mean, unless you're having a really bad game, I doubt they can really generate that many perfect guards that fast. So, you know, it is just crazy to rip 1 or even 2 front triggers off your drive check and just, you know, fuck with your opponent completely. That is why I like to run 8 of them. The next trigger that I run, obviously, are the 4 draw PGs and then the 4 heal because you're playing Vanguard. Not much to say about those. Definitely, if you want to tech in, like I've seen people tech in like 2 crits, you can tech in 2 crits. That's totally cool. I just like the 8 front. Comfortable number for me. Again, it is all up to you though. But that is about it for the deck profile. I really, really like this deck. I know I said that for almost all my deck profiles, but this deck is just so freaking hilarious just to be like, you know, Counterblast 1 to basically say you can only guard with 1 card per battle, and you hit for high numbers. Glory Maelstrom saved Aqua Force, I think. So I'm very happy about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, please leave a like. If you guys didn't like the video, leave a dislike. I don't really care. And then please comment, subscribe, smash that like button, and hit that bell notification so you know when I post videos again. Again, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more deck profiles and hopefully some fight videos. And this is Jin Yuki signing out. Later.